Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Dragonmark Symphony here on Natural One Media. I am your DM, Dylan, here with my friends. We're going to jump right back into it because if you recall, a little while back, our group is currently having a bit of a situation going on in a shop called the Drowning Candle, which is, what's the past tense of? This is a good start where I can't think of a word to say. It has a proprietor, therefore it is proprietated.
I think there's probably.
I wasn't an English major, is the thing.
I'd probably just say like it is owned.
It is owned and operated by one Victoria Skeevel, who had requested that the group assist her with exorcising a ghost that she believed was haunting the shop. Set attempted to communicate with said spirits and was magically transported to a astral maze through the magic of game mechanics that we made for ourselves. So Set, trapped in the maze, was attempting to maneuver through it. Silva was using her crystal ball as well as this sort of magical item, this structure, a combination of the two in order to attempt to reach out and contact Set, and was sort of able to do so. Like they were sort of able to communicate with each other, but not entirely. And Set has kind of been left to maneuver their way through the maze as best they can, with a gigantic, terrifying Gorgon in hot pursuit. In the meantime, Johannes and Victoria were sort of skittering around the store, locating things. They had to get a book from a very high bookcase. Some assistance was provided by communicating with a disembodied hand that seems to belong to someone who was trapped inside the maze previously. And Set came across a candle and decided to snuff it out. And in doing so, they snuffed out the life of a semi-important NPC that I was going to introduce later in the game. I'm not mad. I literally made the item.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out in 50 episodes from now.
That's very optimistic with the.
I know it really is, and I
Have you been watching?
I have a lot of thoughts on that, but this was already supposed to be a 2-year campaign. Anyway. Set, not only did you snuff out the candle, but you also decided to take it into your possession, placing it in your bag, which is great because the life essence within the candle really came in handy when you were attempting to flee from the Gorgon, leaped over a seemingly bottomless pit that opened out into an endless starry void, and double failed in crossing over it. Causing you and the Gorgon to just tumble out into endless space. You technically died again, but the life essence of the candle revivified you. You were revived, brought back into the maze on the other side of the pit, and you, thanks to communication from the rest of the group and Silva's magic, you were able to get an inkling of a message that you need to take, the route that you need to take to possibly get to the center of the maze and be able to escape. So this is where I ask you, do you remember what the message was?
Absolutely not.
Great. So next week when we reconvene, we will be addressing... Kevin's going to roll a new character, and we're going to, kind of work things out from there.
Set is being killed as we speak.
What was the question again?
I've been better about taking notes, and I just did not put. It was like left, right, left to get to the center. I remember it was 3 turns that I had to make.
I also didn't write down the exact directions.
Kid gloves are off on this one.
Well,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
as they
Yo,
should be.
you are correct that it was 3 turns. But as far as which ones they were, it's
Hey, if we're pulling that,
we are pulling that.
know what I'm doing.
What are you gonna like pull up the VOD from the last video?
Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
All right, fine. We don't got to do that. No,
We have
one
our
needs-
own system of note taking. It's
No one needs to hear my voice
this.
twice. Okay.
You can't say that. I edit our podcast.
Okay. True, but that's a special.
You
That's
say
a
that.
torture
I
that
edit
you
our podcast.
endure out of love for Warhammer. That's different.
This
Yeah,
isn't a love for tabletop role playing games.
It doesn't. No, we're all jaded. We secretly hate doing this.
Yeah. That's the funny thing was I was gonna say. Now, if we made this joke like 2 months ago, maybe like 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months ago, I would have just said Dungeons and Dragons. But in light of a number of recent events,
fair.
I just said
It's
tabletop
fair.
role playing games.
Fair. All right. How about this? Okay.
Filled
So
out.
there was 3 turns.
In the coloring book.
I
The
can
one
roll a
with
history check.
You should roll a history check. We should use
Here we
dice.
go.
They're a critical part of
Yeah.
this game.
Oh my god!
Let's use dice.
Man,
Roll that history check.
What a great idea! Hope it doesn't bite you in the ass.
It's a 7.
I hope that's a base
okay.
seven. Okay.
I can't give you a 7. No.
I blame D&D Beyond for that one.
You
maybe
in a very short span of time, you have been revived through means that like 10 minutes before this you did not know existed. Your mind is like askew. You are very much having a difficult time retaining any information at the moment as you are in this maze. Like it is very hard to like latch onto key details.
Yeah.
Could I
I
maybe
roll a history
roll it? I was gonna say, could I maybe, because I was the one who had the
I was
book.
the one that gave the directions.
That's true.
What if you two? Here's how we'll do this. Either one of you can roll with advantage, or both of you can roll just regular, just flat.
With advantage.
Yeah, you should roll with advantage.
Okay, good. Because my preemptive roll, first roll was a 1. So thank you for agreeing with that. Because now,
Whoa, did you roll that before or after we established that you were doing the roll?
Don't worry about it.
No, I will worry. I'm the DM. I'm going to worry about it.
Well, he's helping me, so it's irrelevant.
All right, just go with the second roll.
Irrelevant.
I'll just throw beholders at you guys later. Just go ahead and
Hey,
second roll.
technically, I didn't get the answer on whether or not it was a success or failure.
You said you rolled a 1 first, right?
Well, sure, but that's the thing. That doesn't mean I can't get help after. Before
Okay,
you give me
okay.
The result.
Okay, spoilers, a 1 is a failure.
Well, yes, but the thing is, the way that works is I make a roll before you tell me if it's a failure. He can decide to help me. I'm gonna play that game.
That's how my campaign works. Okay.
Hey.
Right.
Man, the level of sass in the building tonight.
I told y'all. I told
through
y'all.
the fucking roof.
I told you. I've had a fun time. Genuinely though, all goofs and gaffs aside. Okay. You rolled a 1. A 1 is not going to succeed. So you can roll your second one there if you haven't already.
Yeah, it's a 17 right here.
A 17. Okay. You remember that the message you sent out, you don't know why, you have this sudden feeling of like, I need to remember this in case somebody forgot. The message that you conveyed was that Set needs to go left, then a second left, and then take a right.
that was the one thing was like I was like I knew it was two, but I was definitely gonna say two rights and all.
That would have been
It's-
perfect.
And see, I had it as there are two lefts and there are a right. I just had the order confused.
Yes, our mindset. It's remember, I don't know what happened, but you went out for a second, but it's two lefts and a right. Then I'll be right back.
Set, you hear the voice of Zordon in your ears telling you.
Okay. Yeah. Kind of like take a quick peek down into the pit. Do I see the Gorgon still falling?
You do not.
Okay. I'll just be like, I'm gonna keep moving. And I'll just start booking it forward until I reach the next intersection.
Excellent. And you reach it very quickly, like you were able to see it from your position at the edge of the pit. So right away, get up to another fork. Path to the left, path to the right.
Going left.
You heard left, go left. Keep moving. You hear a whooshing noise as if like a big gust of wind is suddenly building up. And you feel yourself your feet are beginning to like lift off of the ground where you're running. I need you to make a dexterity save for me if you wouldn't be so kind.
Dexterity saving throw. That is a dirty 20.
All right. You end up doing kind of like a tumble forward and you like break the fall with your hands, turn it into a cartwheel, and keep the momentum and just keep on running as fast as you can. You hit another fork. Path to the left, path to the right, path going forward. You take the left path. You think in your mind, okay, I just took a left and then I took another left. That means I've done a U. That means I'm doubling back now in that same direction. You hear the sound of like, it's like a twinkling noise that's coming from somewhere off to your right as you run. It's like the sound of like, almost like wind chimes.
Weird, but like I just look to my right, there's just wall there, right?
There is
I just kind of like, as I'm moving along, just kind of run my hand along the wall.
Okay. You kind of take the hand, you're just kind of running it across as you go, and then you feel there's a point where the wall gives. It's not physical, it's not solid.
I'll stop and just be kind of like feel the corner and just like brace against it and kind of like peek through to see if there's stuff past it.
You push your head through and it feels like ice cold water, like you're dipping your head into like a bucket of ice cold water. Through to the other side, and you see that there is this enclosed circular space. No visible doors around on any side, but in the middle is a pedestal. And on top of the pedestal, bathed in this like golden ethereal light, that like sound of like wind chimes like twinkling is like almost deafening here, and it's coming directly from this rectangular structure on the pedestal with this golden light shining out from it.
This was on the right wall as I was going down that path.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they said left, left, right. I'll go through there and I'll approach the light. It feels very much like the center of a maze kind of vibe hidden behind a false wall. So I'll cautiously go up to the pedestal.
You go through, begin to approach the pedestal. Very large. You see that the light almost kind of flows outward from it. It has this almost like cloth-like etherealness to it as it sort of moves into the empty space. You cannot see anything else inside of it except for that golden light. That's all you see there.
All right, and like circling around it, that's all I get from it.
Going around to the other side, it is just like a pure flat surface, black like obsidian, textureless, featureless, nothing there.
Interesting. I'll go back to the front and start like reaching up towards it to see if I can touch the gold light.
You reach towards the light, and the ice coldness that you felt going through the fake wall is being replaced with a warmth that emanates from this golden light.
Yeah, well, I'll keep moving forward then and get closer.
All right. How close do you want to move to this sort of
like
structure?
I'll be moving forward cautiously, but so long as nothing strikes me as I'm going to die, I'm gonna just continue getting closer and closer to it until maybe I'm like 5 feet away from it.
You continue to approach until you are just within a few feet. The light is almost blinding now to be so close to it. It is incredibly bright, almost like daylight. The twinkling sound, like pieces of glass making contact with each other, it is becoming almost deafening. You get the sense that if you were to stand here for too long, you would either go deaf or go blind or possibly both, just from the sheer exposure to this structure.
Then briefly I will, kind of like almost shielding my eyes, kind of move forward and like try and go up to actually touching the physical object.
You go to touch, and the light, like cloth, kind of flows around the hand and the arm, but you don't feel it at all. There's no feeling there. It is just purely light dancing around the arm as you reach for it.
Then I'll just try to walk through it then, I guess.
Okay. You walk through, and the ringing, the twinkling, it's so loud in your ears. The light is so blinding and bright and impossible to see exactly what it is you're walking into. And you just walk forward and take steps as you can. And suddenly, it's dark. And your face is smushed into like some sort of like wood something that's just like pressed up against you.
Kind of like reel back a little bit, and
You do, and you smack your head on something that is kind of hanging up over you. You're surrounded on all sides by, there's like objects of some sort that are just kind of like crowding in the space. You're in a very confined space, you realize very quickly.
Just in as much as I can, kind of just like looking around, trying to figure out exactly where I am.
Make a perception check.
Can't wait for it.
22.
You there's very little to no light. You're blinking your eyes, trying to adjust the transition from the extremely bright light of the structure to being in this now. It's really messing with your head, but you feel around and it's like, okay, I hit my head. There's something hanging above me. There's like a shelf. And what are these things that I'm feeling on the left? Okay, this is it's like a really heavy jacket, like a robe. And there's more like robes and clothing hung over on this side here. Your elbow smacks up against something that's kind of perched up nearby, and it appears to be just like a long stick. You realize it's a broom. There's a broom just kind of like perched up over to the side here.
Is there a door in front of me?
The wooden structure that you had kind of like ran into before, you see now that it has positioned near the bottom. There's like this large black handle just over on the side.
Oh, looking around, I'm like, I'm clearly in someone's closet. I will just turn the knob and open the door.
You rotate the knob and you open the door. Silva, you have not heard anything from Set or been able to establish any kind of connection in a bit. It's getting to be a bit worrisome. You haven't heard anything. You haven't been able to perceive anything. Victoria kind of looks at you, kind of watching the emotions on your face. She just kind of leans in close to you and goes, What do you see? How's he doing? What? What? Do you see him? You see them? Are they still there? What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I'll send a thing. I'll attempt to utilize the same aspect and talk through the particular and try to see if I can. There.
As you go to do so, the three of you hear like a thump, like a thunking noise. And you look over to a broom closet that is kind of sitting over on the far end of the room. And you hear the sounds of something shuffling within the broom closet.
Uh-oh.
Have anything in
the Victoria Skeevel sort of pulls her robes back a little bit. She reaches in and pulls out a set of brass knuckles. And she goes,
a Glock would also be fitting.
Not today.
Right, well.
Johannes,
Giving the scenario.
Go check it out.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Giving the scenario, we can't rule out anything that it could be. So let's.
Lethal force, got it.
No, giving the hands usefulness. Let's see what it is first before we strike. But be ready to capture.
I'm gonna take my scimitar out, but then flip it so I have pommel side facing for
to pounce
Nice.
for interrogation.
Lethal interrogation, got it.
Lethal interrogation.
What?
Pouncing. Like a jaguar to the throat. Okay, I'm gonna
Yes,
go
the
open
Atari Jaguar. You go to open the door, but before you can, the door swings open, and a very confused Set steps out. Several items fall out of the closet with them as they just sort of exit. Looking around, Set, you are immediately face to face with Johannes. They are holding their scimitar brandished with the pommel out.
Is this someone that I should kill, right? Kill?
Johannes. No jokes, please. No, just
I step aside.
I'm going back to my room. And I will literally just walk straight for the door and just fucking leave.
Victoria goes, "You actually did it! You're the coolest witch ever! You did it!" And she like bear hugs Silva and just like spins you around before like setting you back down. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that worked. Nobody's ever done that before. Where are you going? Where's he go? Wait, where are they going? Where are you going?
I don't know.
Set.
Wait.
We still have the potions.
Stop, wait, come back.
Is it still daytime? Is there any
Yes.
windows into this room? Okay.
Yes. Surprisingly, there are windows, yes.
But the whole
Just
reason
ran
we
the whole
came
thing.
here.
Or how long?
I just went through the most insane shit.
Oh, we were watching the whole time, yeah.
How?
Well, Silva.
Like, I
kind of
heard your
was.
voice, but you could see me?
No, I don't. Well, could you, Silva?
No. No.
Okay, well then never mind.
All I
Okay.
was getting was whatever I could talk.
I would have been a little more pissed off if you were just watching the whole time.
I mean, even if we could watch, there was nothing inherently that we could do. I tried to give you,
and I appreciate that.
spells and
She
stuff.
really
They
did,
didn't-
yeah.
They didn't always work. They did not. They did not.
Yeah. The directions, incredibly helpful. Would have been more helpful to know that the right turn that I had to take was through a hidden wall. I figured it out. I'm back.
I'll be honest. I didn't know that would be the case either.
Okay.
Oh, I thought they drew a pumpkin here. It actually says false wall. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Okay.
But I'm glad you had faith in my instruction to do it.
I really had no other option because there was a massive thing chasing after me that the brief look that I took at it made me feel like I was being petrified. So
What kind of thing? Describe it.
It was just massive, had like it almost kind of looked like a minotaur, but it was also snake-like and just had a bunch of limbs. Like it was rough. And I'll be honest, my brain is a little scrambled right now.
Well, you should probably. It sounds like you went through a really serious and traumatic event. You should probably like take a seat or something. I don't know if you want to go running out into the crowded city in this state.
Yeah, we should wait here and rest.
You're right. We're a little too far from the inn, aren't we?
Please
Okay. I'll just literally
take chair, and she snaps her fingers, and a chair just kind of like
gonna go over to Set and hand
scoots
him.
over.
I'm gonna go over to Set and hand you the kettle corn.
Yeah.
I'll
take
take the kettle corn, sit down, and just like stare, like completely zoning out, like absolute, like nothing going on. Stare up and into the corner of this shop, and just nothing is happening.
Yeah, let's take like an hour. Recuperate for a bit.
Sure, yeah. Everybody relax. I'll finish with these potions while everybody just kind of de-stresses from the whole situation. Let me work on that. She kind of takes those two vials that you had presented her before, and she goes, blows on them. It looks at them a bit, and then she just chucks them into the fireplace. There's like this enormous like stone hearth behind her where there's like a roaring fire going. Just chucks them into the fire. All right, we're gonna give that about 10 minutes or so. Should be good. Really interesting. Remind me again where you got these two vials from?
Didn't I pick them up in the Wizard's Tower? Like,
Yes, you did.
I'll like kind of jump and be like, they were in a Wizard's Tower.
Ooh.
I think they were laying around. They weren't labeled. Picked them up just in case they would be useful. Was I in space?
You said you were in a maze, right?
Yeah, with like stars and like just emptiness.
Yeah, hun, I think you were in space. Well, some argue that it'd be in positioning with the astral sea, but I don't agree with that. I think it's still technically within the atmosphere of Eberron, but you know, witches and wizards, we have our debates about how accurate that really is.
So if I had, let's say theoretically, fallen into a pit up there, I would have just been cast out into the void of space. Where the
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't, because yeah, you would essentially be dead. I mean, you'd be. There's a thing that happens out in that sort of astral void where you essentially. I mean, there's nothing else really there. There's a few things that have been discovered, you know, and then obviously there are, of course, the 18 astral mazes, but like you would have been sort of drifting endlessly. You're in this kind of constant state of movement once you get out into there. Yeah, you would probably be dead. So it's a good thing that didn't happen to you.
Yeah.
Did you find anything interesting in their set?
Yes. Oh my God. Tell us, did you bring any gifts?
I didn't really have time to think about cool shit. I was being chased by a creature that wanted to kill me.
Well, yeah, but if you found anything,
I mean, that would have happened in any of the astral mazes. They all have like a guardian protector. So
Right. You said there are 17 more of those?
18. Yes. Sorry. 17 more. Yes. Including yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. It's a long story.
there's probably now one less guardian of the mazes.
You killed the guardian. That is really
I
impressive. You
Did
are.
not kill it. It technically killed itself.
That's sadder.
That's pretty.
Maybe
yeah.
you could have like done something to help it so that it didn't feel. I just look. I don't know.
I mean, bullying. Really
I jumped
isn't
over
the
a pit
answer,
and
so-
Bullying is not the way to go. I understand if you felt threatened, but you should,
Yeah.
consider other beings' perspectives.
No, it fell into a pit and was cast out into the endless void of space.
Oh, well, then, per the logic of my previous statement, then it's definitely dead. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And that's why I say there's likely one less guardian of a maze, though the maze in and of itself still sucked. Would not recommend 0 out of 10.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Even getting out of the maze sucked. One, I ended up in a closet. Two,
Relatable.
Two, I was nearly blinded and deafened just trying to get out.
Right, the archway. Yeah.
You knew about the archway? And you
Like I
didn't
said,
hesitate to tell me?
it's a long story. There's a lot going on. These people, there are still a lot of people who A, don't know that these even exist, and B, some of the ones that do doubt that they are real. That it's the type of thing that's been passed down as like legends and ideas.
Does
Wizards
this
and
mean-
sorcerers dream of potentially finding a way to reach these mazes and claim the treasures that are said to be kept within.
One, no treasures to be had that I was able to discover.
Wow.
Although it may be easier to figure out if there are any if the next person goes up there, because there's no guardian anymore.
Okay, I don't believe you, but go on.
Okay. But also, does this mean like I could write a paper or talk to someone about this and like sell this information and make a lot of money?
Ooh, that's a good question. Did you didn't, I don't remember you describing, did you walk the maze or did you run it? What was your gait like inside of this maze?
It was a brisk walk until I heard a massive angry creature behind me, and then it was go as fast as I can while trying not to draw attention.
I don't know if The Maze Brisk Walker is going to be a best-selling book. I'm going to be honest with you.
Let's be real, that totally went over my head when you said that.
Okay. Wow. All right.
I know you're the DM and all that, but like, there's that like group that does the naughty table, and wonder when and if we should institute that.
But no, seriously, like, is my experience having actually entered and successfully left a maze like worth stuff?
I
profit off of my trauma.
Okay. Whoa. Hold on. I have to roll again because this is a lot. Okay. First and foremost, generally, if you've experienced some form of traumatic event, your first thought isn't how should I make money off of it. Granted, I own this, and she just kind of gestures around to the shop. I'm hardly one to talk, but I speak from experience. That being said, I have wanted to visit the mazes for years, and I've never been able to figure out a way to do it. There are sorcerers and wizards, practitioners of magic, studiers of the arcane arts, who I imagine would probably pay a pretty penny to hear about your experiences of having gone through one of these astral mazes. Like they will give dogs away just to hear your story.
Curious. All right, take her away.
As Bennett holds a void up to the camera.
You literally can't see her at all.
Okay, good to know.
But the first thing we should focus on is making sure that you're okay. Because I'm me, but you're you. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yes. And I can tell you, as someone who has died...
I don't believe you, but continue.
As someone who has died and been brought back, I got a lot of shit going on, and if I can just get like a little money to make sure that that doesn't happen again, great.
Have you seen a therapist?
Therapist.
I haven't exactly had like the time to like try and find whatever you're talking about.
Do you at least have coverage to be able to see one? Because there are a number of great therapists in the city, you know.
And Milo provides health insurance.
What?
Victoria, I have no
Wait, sorry.
idea what you're talking about.
Did you just say Milo?
Yeah,
Milo
As in Milo Marigold?
Over on the west side of the city, yeah, he's my new boss.
Oh.
We're all kind of working with him in some ways, but maybe not.
Oh.
I don't want to. Maybe not. Do you know him?
Oh. No. Make an insight check.
Yeah, making an inside check.
We're all making insight checks. Jesus Christ.
I got a 9.
I got a 10.
I
Oh.
got a 21.
Nice. Set. You figure something's probably off here, but you've frankly been through a lot. You're not gonna worry about this too much. Johannes, I don't know. Things have turned out pretty well so far. She seems pretty trustworthy on these things. Silva, women's intuition. When she says no, you immediately pick up. It's like, nah, this girl crazy. It's like a good crazy so far, but for her to be acting like she doesn't know this person, even though she clearly does, means that there is history between the two. Something went down between the two.
And
Oh,
because
they
I
fucking.
Because I
It's not what I said.
because I
But-
float, the real nice part is because I float, I can like really do this effect where I just like perfectly glide just next to her. There's more to this story, isn't there?
I don't know what you're talking about, and I need to go check on your potions.
Oh,
I'm gonna do that.
We can check in the potions together. Tell me what is up.
Shh.
I'm whispering.
Make a persuasion check.
I was whispering. The bard is kicking in. Persuasion
Yes.
23.
Okay, just come with me. The two of us are gonna go check on potions. You two stay here and talk about guy stuff. I don't know.
So
Right
I'm
back.
Just gonna want to just sit and stare at the wall and eat kettle corn.
Yeah.
Oh, and
stuff.
put the hand back. We don't need it anymore.
Shoo.
Oh, I did find the rest of it.
Yeah, no, you did inform me kind of that part, but as much as I tried to help it make it back to the body, it didn't work. The whole thing. Unfortunately, they're kind of just stuck with it. They're just kind of stuck separated now.
Yeah, that's fine. You
Back
didn't
in the
look
cupboard.
good, like you was doing too good.
I just commanded like back in the cupboard.
The hand kind of looks at you. And just kind of scramble off.
I'm just gonna let the hand be. It's not hurting anybody.
I mean, before it was, but by the
But, like,
time
right
I'm out of
now-
control of it is tomorrow, and we'll be out of this place.
Yeah.
So it will be no longer our problem by that point. And Victoria definitely had it handled before we got here.
All right. Silva, you and Victoria walk over to where the this large hearth is set up with the fire that's just like roaring, cackling out of it. You could just make out within the fire where the two vials that she chucked in there are kind of sitting within at the base of the fire, sort of where the embers are sort of beginning to curl up. She grabs like a pair of like iron tongs and she hands them over to you. And then she also hands you a pair of like pink, flame resistant gloves to put on, like mittens. She's like, put these on.
Put 'em on.
Okay. You're going to take tongs and you're going to reach into the fire and you're going to grab the vial, but you don't want to break the vial.
Got it. Milo. I'll start to reach in. Kind of slowly enough so that I can get her to start talking.
As you're reaching in to grab the vials, she sort of leans in and she goes, "So, how long have you been staying with Milo?"
Just
Okay. Did he say anything about me? We don't think so. What do you mean? Either he did or he didn't.
I don't think. Well, I can't remember how much of our own story we told him. I don't think the whole thing. You know how especially said is not really one to necessarily immediately feed out information.
I don't know. It seemed like they really wanted a trauma dump back there, but we'll get to that later.
Well,
Look.
at least in this scenario, something we were all kind of pervy to.
Mhm. Listen, Milo Marigold, he is. Be careful around him. He's not like a bad guy. He's just, I don't know, sometimes no, he like really hates local government. It's kind of a thing. Just keep an eye out around him. He has a tendency to kind of get these crazy ideas, and then he gets everybody around him swept up into him.
That
Yeah.
fishing jamboree from the other day, kind of a good example of it.
Oh, were you guys involved in that? I heard about it, but it didn't come on account of I didn't want to.
Yeah, it was between Mohan.
Who?
My friend Thomas. He was the one that I was helping to rescue. Wrote.
Oh. Okay.
Personally, obviously, the other people that were entrapped in the that we also were intended to save.
Right. Interesting. Look, if you aren't too preoccupied and you happen to have the chance, there is something maybe that you could do for me that I'd really appreciate. Friend to friend. I believe Milo has something of mine, and I would kind of like it back, but I haven't asked him to give it back yet. No, it's not anything like that. Stop.
Stop it.
No, it was a letter, and it was in an envelope. But I think I left it at the inn like a long time ago, and I've never come back around to ask if he had it. So if you see, no, it's addressed to me. So if you see a letter that's addressed to me, if you could just like swipe it.
Well, surely he would give it if it doesn't. If it's addressed to you.
I don't know if I might. I don't. It's complicated.
Disliking local government and one thing, but mail fraud is not really.
No, he will fully.
Unlawfully reading mail is not. That's not
This is getting off topic, but like he would absolutely commit mail fraud. No, that's yeah.
But that's not local government.
Yeah, it's not
That's
specific to this either.
exactly.
Just look, it's a really private letter, and frankly, I should have worked up the courage to ask him for it a long time ago. But
Other than it being on his person, no.
I would assume just somewhere in the end, maybe if he's got a place where he keeps a bunch of mail or letters, you know. I know it's a weird request. It's just I don't know. I haven't been at that inn in quite a while, and I just feel like it'd be really awkward for me to just kind of show up one day and
Oh, I
I don't know.
look at it.
Thanks, bestie.
Hmm?
Careful, you're about to smash that vial. So you are reaching for the vials. I'm gonna need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
I like to. Oh, I was like, I'm waiting for this to be. Probably A23.
Nice.
Hmm.
No, you deftly, with the tongs, with great precision, managed to take. You grab both vials in one go, like getting 2 prizes on the crane machine, and just managed to pull them out. Victoria's eyes are like saucers. She's like, like super impressed with you.
Right.
As you bring the vials around and set them onto the table, you can see now that the liquid inside the vials is no longer the color that it was before. One of them is like silvery blue. It's like a silvery blue mix. And the other one is in my notes. Just a moment. It is, where is the color? There you are. The color is, yes. The other one is clear, but it's like a gelatinous clear, and there's like super thin shards of silver floating around inside it. And Victoria kind of announces to everyone, so I had a feeling that you had probably gotten this from some sort of a wizard or a sorcerer or something of that sort, because these potions were obfuscated. Do we all know what that means?
Yeah, I know what that means. They were hidden, kind of.
Correct. So they
Misdirection.
the wizard that bottled the potion. There is a spell that can be performed at the point of bottling, where they can obfuscate the potion and make it appear different from what it actually is. Very helpful for things like poisons and venoms. What's interesting, and she kind of leans over and she's kind of looking, peering into the 2 vials. I'm pretty sure neither of these are poisons. That one, and she kind of points at the clear gelatinous liquid with the silver shards. That is an oil. That one is a potion. But this is my first time seeing that one, pointing to the kind of like bluish silver. in person. I've only ever read about that one. Very interesting. And an interesting combination, too.
So, quick question. I had 2 of each of these originally, or at least it seemed like there were 2. Could those have also been different ones, or would they have likely been the same if when they were obfuscated they looked the same?
That is a good question. I mean, depending on the wizard, they could, in theory, make a multitude of bottles and color them all the same or color them all differently or use an illusion to otherwise change their form. It's hard for me to say if they all would have been the same potions.
Follow up. Do you know if either of these have any side effects for being ingested? Because actually, I'm pretty sure Johannes is the one that has that ingested both of the ones that I gave them.
It's hard for me to
That
say. I
is
would have to
true.
know. I'd have to know for certain that the ones that Johannes ingested were exactly the same as these 2.
Oh, we can't really know. The only thing I guess we could say about it is that, like, I drank a potion that I drank it when it was that was the platypus one, right? Well, like, you didn't give me it, but it healed me from platypus.
Well, because there was one, the one that was labeled as maybe a healing potion. I feel like I gave Tyler.
That was after I was poisoned. I drank the poison, right?
Yeah, and I gave you a potion that might help you recover some hit points, and then when you were the platypus, or before you turned into a platypus, I put what was maybe an antidote in your mouth and made you drink it.
Yes. Well, I mean, that was the situation that I drank those potions. I'm not sure if that really tells you anything, though.
Well, that first off, hilarious. Extreme envy that you got to be a platypus for a day. Goals, honestly.
Goals.
You could take Milo for that.
Honest. Neither of these would do any of that, for what it's worth.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just explain.
Yeah.
This one here, and she kind of points at the gelatinous one with the silvery shards inside of it. This is an oil of sharpness. You heard of that before?
Oil of sharpness.
Yeah. So you take
I heard
this
it in passing before.
and you coat a sharp bladed weapon like a sword or a knife or, a hat, anything like that. And it has these magical properties and it makes it so that it's incredibly sharper than it would be if you were to put it against a grindstone for an hour. Takes something that's already dangerous and makes it very, very dangerous.
Does it stay that way, or does it wear off?
For about an hour or so.
Okay.
If you've got any like arrows or bolts on you can slather a little bit of it on those too. Has the same effect. Anything with a blade to it,
Mm-hmm. Okay, that could definitely be useful.
Yeah.
Not so useful for ingesting, so hopefully that wasn't one of the other ones.
The other one, speaking of, and she motions to the silvery blue potion. This is fascinating. I've only heard about this and read. I've never seen one of these in person. I believe this is a potion of aqueous form.
Mm.
If you drink this, you turn into the properties of like a pool of water. Like you become completely liquid.
That's cool. That would be useful.
Do you have an idea of how long that would last?
Oh, not very long. Not nearly as long as the oil of sharpness here. It'd be like 10, 15 minutes at the most.
Interesting.
I could see us using that at some point.
Definitely has some uses. Weird question. When you consume this potion of aqueous form, do you retain the volume of your body? So you just convert entirely to liquid? Does it shrink down? Like
you essentially turn into like this. It's oh gosh, I'm trying to think of my studies. It's like you turn into a pool of water, but you maintain your consciousness so you can still move as the form of water, and you can bring yourself up to like normal height. You can sort of shrink yourself down so that you're flat against the ground and like move as water does. You can sort of like pass through small areas. You can move through and over other liquids, I think. I feel like I remember hearing about somebody who was using it to like travel over grease traps. Like,
I feel like I've, in passing, this sounds very much like how an elemental behaves.
it's got a bit of that. It's a bit of an elemental like thing.
Okay. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Too bad it doesn't work for very long. Otherwise, there could be even more applications for it, but it could definitely be useful for sneaking into places, getting past, getting past some sentries briefly. Be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's very curious indeed. But those are the two potions that you have before you here. So like I say, it's an oil of sharpness and a potion of aqueous form. If you wanted to sell these, I know you're talking up a big game before about securing the bag. I guess both of these would sell for a very pretty coin. But they're also pretty useful. So I don't know. I suppose it's your deal. I'll be honest, if you were interested, I would be willing to take them off your hands for you even.
Well, they are pretty useful, but how much would you be offering?
Well, the oil of sharpness, nothing too crazy on that. I'd probably say like 25 gold gallifars for the oil of sharpness. The potion of aqueous form, however, I'm thinking closer to maybe 45, 50.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I could part with the aqueous form potion for that. I think I want to hold on to the oil of sharpness, though.
Yeah. I'll give you some coin here. And she kind of fumbles around in her robe there, pulls out a purse that she has kind of slung around. Kind of digs through the purse, pulls out a rat skull, sort of chucks it to the side, digs in, and withdraws like a handful of gold coin that she just kind of passes over to you. She specifically gives you 50.
50. Cool.
Yeah.
50 gold.
That
Wow.
covers the second half of my crossbow.
Beautiful. She's going to take the vial of the aqueous form. She kind of looks at it in the light a little bit, and then she takes that and puts it into the little coin purse and zips it up, stows it back in.
Well, much appreciated for that. Oh, right. So you had mentioned the archway in the maze. Are there descriptions of it? Like, I know you said that it's hotly debated whether or not it actually exists or not.
Yeah, I mean, there are. It gets passed around in whispers, It's like really. There's a lot of girl talk between the wizards, and they'll share stories. They swap tales of like various magical occurrences and mysterious items that are scattered throughout Eberron. And it's one of those ones that just kind of pops up a lot more than the others. There are druids of the Circle of the Moon that swear that through the use of arcane telescopes lended to them by some of the houses, that they have been able to perceive the mazes from the surface, which is incredible. I mean, almost hard to believe at this point.
Almost as preposterous. Flying, like taking boats, like the airship, somehow putting them into space.
That exactly as insane as the thing that Sofa just said,
Can't imagine a universe that would be possible.
I feel like it'd be pretty neat. I don't know, being able to take an airship out into space among the stars. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would rather not go back.
Well,
That's fine. I'll just take Sofa.
Yeah, by all means, have fun. Yeah, it was just really interesting. It was incredibly
call it the
bright, incredibly loud as well. Like the sound of like chimes or like glass clinking against each other, like almost deafening the closer you got to it. But it also felt warm. It was interesting. And then I did, when I was running from whatever creature, I think you had mentioned a Gorgon.
Yeah, you said it had like a head like a bull, kind of a minotaurish, but
Yeah, but like long and not a minotaur.
a long.
Like I know what
bull.
I know what a minotaur looks like.
Mm,
It was decidedly not that.
okay. Well, if it wasn't a minotaur and it wasn't a bull, then yeah, I mean, it could have been a Gorgon. What color was its fur?
Would I remember that? Would like
You would remember that it didn't have like a hide or fur. It was just like metallic plates running all along its body.
well, it didn't have fur. It was more almost like a shell or like armor, like plating.
Oh yeah, that's a Gorgon, hun. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Well, while I was running from that, I did pass by this blue candle that was like somehow still lit while being under a cover.
Interesting. Okay.
Does that ring any bells to you?
I mean, that's a far cry from somebody saying they didn't find anything in there earlier.
It's a candle. It's just weird.
I'm just teasing you, sweetie. Well, candles are an interesting thing because they have a very rudimentary use, which is to provide light. But sometimes they are used for magical purposes, in which case they are meant to not just give light, but take it as well. That's almost getting into like a necromantic field, which I'm not super versed in, if we're being honest.
Okay. It was just,
maybe find a necromancer and ask them.
Yeah, it was weird. But anyways, thank you for your help. Yeah, that was exhausting, but thankfully it's done with, and fingers crossed I never have to experience one of those mazes again.
Well, unless you wanted to conquer the other 17 that exist.
I wouldn't, in any terms of the word, say that I conquered this one.
You're alive, aren't you?
Yeah, it's debatable.
What do you two think? Does that count, or do we want to count that as like? I don't know. I feel like that should count. I feel like that counts.
Count as what?
as conquering the maze.
I mean, in classic warrior rule, you have defeated the guardian. Therefore, you are the claimer of its domain. But also, you did go into what is supposedly the end. Why that led to a closet, I don't know. One way or the
We
other,
can talk about
I
that
would say
later.
You have. I would say one way or the other, though, that yes, you have conquered the maze.
Okay.
Whether
So
you take the
I am
literal or the warrior look.
So what you're saying is I am now the conqueror of an astral maze.
The maze conqueror.
I think it suits you.
All right. I'll kind of like look out one of the windows. Can I see like where the sun is at in the sky to like judge about what time it is?
Not really from these windows. There's light passing through them, but you can't actually see like the sun, where the sun is positioned at all. They're very, the windows are very like up and out of the way, like they're up,
Yeah.
way up on the wall.
Okay. Well, I don't know exactly how long that took, but it felt like I was in there for an eternity, and I think I am done for the day. So I'm gonna start making my way back to the inn. If the two of you want to continue shopping, by all means. But I think I will be retiring for the day.
I did still kind of want to meet Jacqueline. We're pretty close. Are you still interested, Silva? That was the magical weapon shop. Well, I know I'm gonna continue to go while there's still some light.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
yeah, no, I would like to see what enchanted wares are out there.
Yeah. I mean, keep an eye out for something that might interest me. But I don't think I could take much more of being
I'll let
active
you know.
today.
I think
If
that's
anything
fair.
comes up that seems interesting, I'll put in the memory bank and let you know when we get back.
All right then. Best of luck to the both of you. Hopefully, no more mazes, at least for today.
True. Some would say going through a large city like a maze.
True.
You don't
Thankfully,
need
the
to
map helps
traumatize
with that.
again.
I'll
I
leave
bet Tom Hanks
the
would say that.
I'll
Who?
leave the salamander to you guys, so that you can still get places, and I'll just start walking back. Dylan, quick question.
Yes.
As a point of order, I do remember. I may not have remembered the directions that I was supposed to go, but I do remember when I was falling into the pit. What you said was the Gorgon had like grabbed onto like the back of like my armor and like pulled me in. Do I still have like my armor and stuff? Like it didn't.
Correct. You did not lose. You did not
Okay.
lose any of your armor or anything. No, all of your items that you had on you were intact.
Cool. I just wanted to clarify that real quick, just
Correct.
to make sure that I'm not. I didn't lose my newly purchased studded leather armor.
I pondered it and it felt too cruel. I was like, nah, we'll just stick with the existential dread for now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Then Set will start making his way back and leave you guys to continue shopping.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then for now, unless you two had anything else you wanted to, goss about.
I mean, I hope you've been well, Victoria. Is this like where you're planning on staying for the time being?
Yeah, so I have multiple shops set up. I've temporarily closed down my location and wrote there.
Okay.
Going to be doing some renovations. Really could use a good cleanup. So I've got that closed down for a bit, and I'm just going to keep this as sort of the main base of operations for a little while.
Okay. Well, we'll be
right.
in the area.
Victoria, did you have anything that you were in need of? I know last time we were able to get you some of that spider silk that you were looking for. Is there anything
Yes.
that you're in search of?
Yeah, and that went to good use, by the way. I really do appreciate that.
Oh, good to hear.
Yeah.
Anything that you're in search for that perhaps we could keep an eye out for you?
The eyes kind of like glance over to Silva for a moment. She like makes eye contact with you and then looks back. No. I think I'm all right.
Okay. Sounds good. And stay safe from the incursions that happen in the evening, I suppose.
Oh, right. Yeah, you all would be new to the whole thing with that.
Yeah. Victoria, do you have any information on that might be helpful for us?
Well, I try to keep out of it as best as I can, but suffice to say that the druids that live nearby are very unhappy with how things have been. And maybe one or two of them tried to make an example of my shop, and I had to set up some magical protections. Bit of an annoyance, but hey, could be a lot worse. Some people have had their entire homes destroyed.
Yeah, I heard they're causing ruckus because of like a possible cult in the forest.
Yeah, something about oh gosh, what was the name? It was like Emerald something. The Emerald something or other. Doing stuff in the woods, and it's really, really causing a bit of a disturbance. And I guess the high and mighty that preside over the city don't want to do anything about it. It's all complicated political stuff. I try not to get involved.
I remember there was a druid cult that's being run outside the city.
Yeah, something of that nature, but I don't know the specifics, I'm afraid. A girl just wants to run her potion shop in Peach,
Hear, hear.
Yeah, understandable. Well, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you around Victoria. And Silva, Johannes, I'll see you back at the inn.
All right, take care. Watch out for the Hydra.
I'm sorry, what?
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 Bye, Victoria.
Bye.
We'll leave the store and start heading back to the inn following the internal map.
You should definitely check in on them once you two get back to the inn. I feel like they got a lot of repressed things that they need to kind of work through. So, But anyway, this was fun. I had a great time.
Last.
It was lovely having you two here. Please stop by anytime. I'm not very good at these like goodbye things. Bye. Toodles. I'll catch y'all later.
Alrighty. Ooh. Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll kind of like, as we kind of like move with Johannes out the door, kind of like,
Yep.
because I almost kind of like guiding him out, almost like trying to keep him ahead of me. I kind of do like the just like kind of like the just like the point and wink to his people. And
Thanks for the kettle corn.
You see there's a very slight blush to the cheeks when you do that. And she's just like, bye, see y'all later. Now, where did I put that gun? And she kind of ravages around in the broom closet.
All right. Well, we're
look, if anybody in this universe, I mean, obviously guns are already inherently a thing, but if anybody in this universe is gonna
They
have,
are, very much so.
right. But if anybody in this universe is gonna have a blicky,
it would be her.
like, come out with a blicky, that's gonna be Victoria.
All right. Well, Silva. I mean, we're already in the central ward. We need to get to God, what was it? 17th
Oh,
Street.
excuse me.
What street are we on right now?
I don't know. Where are you?
Can I? I don't. We were outside her shop. I don't know what street that was on.
And the map
And,
doesn't have a "you are here" part, so yes,
Yeah.
we need a slight reminder on the.
It does though, if you
Oh
remember.
yeah, that's right. I mean, I pull out the map and
In my brain.
I pull out
And
the literal map. The map that I
Wait.
have that gave to us.
Oh yes.
That wasn't a loser. He didn't just give us one. He didn't grab only one for the three of us to split. A little zoomed in.
Mm-hmm.
Saw the ping was like over here.
Yes.
Oh, that was just me clicking, but
Oh,
I don't actually know.
where's
You are
then?
It would be you got very close. This was a very high GeoGuessr score. So
Okay.
it's kind of tucked away into this like alley right here
Okay.
is where you currently are. You are trying to get to Jacqueline's, the arcane
17th Street.
Smith. She is going to be on 32nd, which is going to be up here.
Okay.
All right, we don't
Gotta
have
go
too far
north.
to go, so that's good.
All right, Seth. Stay safe. We'll see you.
They're just kind of walking away, just kind of do the wave and
Yeah.
keep going.
All right. I'll keep walking.
All right, head on over.
All right. Did you say you two are taking the salamander? Because Set offered for you two to have it.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
Our good boy Gary.
it's like from here we don't need, like from here to there, we don't need it as much. Would only be on the way back.
Which will be later in the day and
Yeah. We could
would
just.
be probably more beneficial for the two of you.
Yeah, we could just bring it and head on down.
Gary has been waiting outside, kind of out on the main road a little bit. Just kind of pattering around, looking excitedly at all the people that are walking around.
All right, Gary. Take us. Take us there.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot how the like rules of engagement were salamander. Like, we didn't like show it the map.
Wait, say that again?
I was like, we didn't like show it the map. We like gave it name, right? Gave it the name of where we were going.
I can't remember. I think we told him to go to the Central Ward initially. I don't think we gave it like specific.
I told him exactly where we were
Okay,
going.
okay. Well, then let's tell him exactly. We got to get
What was the
to
name of it again?
Jacqueline Harding's.
17th
All right.
Street, Central Ward.
Jacqueline Hardy.
Take us away, Gary.
The two of you hop onto Gary's back, and he reels back, and then begins to run forward. Carries you off on your way. Eventually, you drifts to a stop outside of. You see, is a very large smithing house. There are actually multiple people there already that are kind of browsing wares. You see all kinds of armor sets. There's weaponry up against there's like a full wall of weaponry. An enormous hearth in the back. It's like 3-4 times larger than the one that Victoria had. There's like a line of helmets that have been placed out upon like this large granite table. And you see that there are a couple blacksmiths that are like addressing different customers, sort of talking to them. One of them is hammering away at something on an anvil in the back. And yeah, there's like a sizable crowd here. It seems like it's a pretty busy establishment.
All right. Well,
So let's try to go
Start
find
by
the
taking a
woman
look,
herself.
is anything that's armor.
Yeah.
Usually,
Can we?
but probably the thing I want the most. Some type of an same feeling I get when I try to look at clothes at the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really want to look at this. No, I'm not happy when I price. Oh, this is a really cool Ren Fair shirt. Oh, cool. $30. You know, and I get it. Not a disparagement. I know why. And it's fairly justifiably priced most of the time. But you know, doesn't make it hurt any less to see that number.
No, it hurts all the same.
Yep. But we're gonna look at this armor anyway. See what's
Yeah. Anything here? Like, what's on?
Yeah,
What's on
so-
display?
So you approach. You can see, like I said before, there is there are multiple sets of armor that have been on display. They're kind of like positioned onto these like mannequins, like these torso, kind of like the limbless mannequins that a tailor would use when they're like, you know, creating an outfit or sewing clothing, to just kind of house the clothing on to get the body shape right. You know, multiple sets of armor that have been kind of positioned and displayed. There's a line of helmets on a table. There are weapons all along like a wall. One of the customers is kind of like speaking with one of the blacksmiths there. They're like admiring like a double-sided dagger that the blacksmith is like holding deftly in their hand. They're kind of demonstrating how well balanced it is on their fingertip. There are, you know, you can see swords, you see shields, all kinds of different works. We're talking for the armor, you know, there's half plate, full plate, there's a full chainmail set.
Okay.
One of the smiths that was kind of working away at the anvil notices the two of you approach, kind of gets up from his seat. Very large fellow, super huge forearms, heavy tattoos, ink all over, like full sleeves, and then like these metal brass piercings that start at the base of the nose between the eyebrows and then just kind of run in a line across the forehead and to the back.
Cool as hell.
And he kind of stands up and looks at the two of you and goes, "Hello there. Anything we can help you with today?"
Well, we've been working and living out near the docks, out in the shore area, and we found one of the blacksmiths over there. He said to come over to Jacqueline Harding's if we were interested in something a bit more arcane or unique. So we came here to check to see your inventory.
Oh, that's very nice of them. Yeah, we have a lot of armor and weapons, and we have magical items as well. We're able to enchant a lot of the armor and weapons that we make for a premium price. And he just kind of, is gesturing around at some of the items that are there. We keep a lot of the higher end magical items around the back. Usually you got to speak with the boss first before you're able to go and see them. It's a safety thing. We just want to make sure that you're on the up and up before we show you our magical wares.
Where's this boss of yours?
Right. What were your names again?
I'm Johannes.
So I inherently would have wanted to and was gonna inevitably go start at seeing what studded leather options were around before talking to the man.
I just want to go see the cool stuff right away.
Well, I didn't know there'd be cool stuff, so I would have just seen what was up there. I wasn't gonna
What
talk
did-
to him until I knew there was something I might want.
What did you say about studded leather? We do have studded leather here.
Well, that's why, like I said, like before I talked to him, I was be like going to it, asking you, the DM.
You would see it. So I mentioned before, like there's several sets of armor that are kind of placed out on display. There are kind of on the left hand side. There's like these two mannequins that are set up. Both of them are displaying studded leather. You can see it's like a full set too. These are like full set, completely covers the torso. The studs are different color. The one on the left, it's got like almost like diamond studs, or at least it shines like diamonds do. And the other one, the studs are of this like orange red, like fire coloring to them. They really shine in the sun. They do. The one on the left is it says Zalargo Diamond Stud.
Oh.
Protects the body and the mind. And it is going for 75 gold pieces.
Was the other one?
The other one, which is actively being looked at by another patron as well. Just a moment. The other one is the label says Eldine Firebrand. Resistance against attack and immense heat. And that is going for 80 gold pieces.
That was
Those are,
both
like, the
light
year-round
armor?
When I would, those are studded leather.
Okay.
This is when I would probably then go turn. Speaking. the man that may conspicuously working on. Sounds like he
Mhm.
would go, job's done.
Job's done.
Choke's done.
Oh, what? But yeah, go over towards him now.
Okay. Yeah, so he's in the process of just talking to Johannes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be. I'm Johannes. Where's your boss? I would like to speak to the manager.
The boss is in the back right now, but I can get it for you if you'd like. I do have to ask, are you a part of any criminal affiliation or organization, or have you ever committed a crime, or do you ever intend to commit a crime in the near future?
No.
I blink twice. No.
Man, it's a really good thing that Set did not go here.
You'd be hitting that deception check real quick.
Speaking of,
Oh, should I?
I mean, so this is an interesting one because
That's a 22.
Okay, sure. I was gonna give you an out and be like, if you don't actually intend to commit any crimes in the near future, then
Yeah, whether we do
you
an
could-
accidental,
you could do a persuasion check instead because you're being honest. But
I'm gonna hit him with the 22.
Well,
Okay.
mine will be the persuasion. Do I need to make a persuasion or?
I mean, you came into the conversation late. It's up to you if you want to be involved in that.
Well, I still had to answer the question. I guess.
Sure. Okay. Then yeah,
I
go ahead
didn't
with the
hear
persuasion.
that part of it, and I'm now gave him the answer. I feel like I should.
Okay.
16 on persuasion.
Great. He looks at the two of you and goes, "All right, well, I believe you. Okay, wait right here. I'll go get her."
Okay.
He kind of turns around and walks away. After like a minute or so, he comes back out and he goes, "Okay, the boss wants to speak with you, but you can follow me."
Okay.
Okay, we're following.
Yeah, so he kind of leads you over to, there's a door on the left side. He opens the door and he motions to the two of you to follow him in. And when you do, you pass through the door and you find yourself in seemingly the exact same location, but it's mirrored. The placement of everything, where everything is, it's like the mirror opposite of where it was before, where you saw it, but now you're coming out of the door instead of going into it. And you can see that all of the offerings, all the items that have been forged, everything that was available for sale has changed. It's a completely different inventory here. You see much more extravagant pieces of armor with incredible detailing. You see arcane weapons, some of them giving off like elemental discharge to them. Incredibly unique, curious items. You see like enchanted jewelry that looks immensely valuable. Some of it is just like caked in like incredible jewels that would surely be, extremely rare or hard to come by. You see what appears to be sitting on a table, what almost looks to be like the foot of a dragon. It's like a clawed foot that has been like preserved and is sitting on the table, like an alligator claw that you would get in Florida, like a tourist trap. And there is a woman, very broad-shouldered woman, who is in the process of taking a sword and is kind of wrapping it up in leather wrappings. She turns to look at all of you, and she goes, "Right, you were asking about magical wares. How can we help you?"
Well,
Who spoke to him first? I guess.
I was just gonna say we'd like to see your inventory.
Right. Well, this is the place to be if you want magical smith items. Jack and Harding at your service. You mind telling me what your intention is to do with these items?
Well, it
Oh.
depends on where inevitably our adventures take us. They seem to go to rather various locations.
That's true. Right about
Okay.
now, we're helping around the city, working with Milo Marigold out in Zenith Shore.
Oh, right. The kooky fella runs the Dragon Inn over on there. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I meant.
I know the name.
And
Surprising.
yeah. But yes, helping around the city, helping our friends.
Right.
Sort of
You
thing.
doing a lot of scrapping while you're helping your friends?
I look over at Silva. A
Yeah.
fair
that we don't
adventurer's
need to
amount of
necessarily-
scrapping.
I was going to say, yes, we've had to run into, unfortunately, a fair number of it, whether we like to or not.
Werewolves, wizards, ghosts, robots.
Curious. All right. So you're coming into contact with a mix of, sounds like, melee items, weapons, as well as magic together.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have too much magical aptitude myself. I was more of a swashbuckler in my days, but
Close quarters fighter.
that's me. Silva here is much more adept at the arcane arts.
True, but I also am the one that generally is the most in the front, which is why I thought
In the front, yeah.
an upgrade, armor upgrade could.
Oh, a tank of a wizard, eh? I respect that. Good on you.
I have a lot of trades.
I bet. Well, then, I suppose she's kind of looking around. I don't know if you two had anything specific in mind, but
I was thinking
sounds like the two of you. Sounds like the two of you could both use perhaps some sort of a enchanted armament, something you could wear that will help you to stay in the fray, so to speak.
That sounds fantastic. Yes.
Yes, I was thinking so. Either something in like the studded leather realm, or
Yeah, I'm just wearing
something that
plain
can
leather armor.
hold up, maybe well, something universal.
Okay. Well, I did have some. I've got some studded leathers out in the front there. Really
Yeah.
nice. But I'm guessing you might be looking for something a little bit different.
For the most part, especially, it was just kind of more a matter of satiating curiosity.
We
And
kind of
it's,
wanted to see like the good stuff.
The good stuff. And what do you mean by that short stuff?
I mean,
Are you suggesting that my wares out front aren't good?
well, no, they're fantastic. We are we've witnessed them firsthand. But if you have a separate room, I know that there's some things that you're particularly proud of that you keep back here.
Persuasion check.
Please.
there you go. That was the line you needed. Just
13.
Beats it, beats it. I suppose I do. All right. And you aren't just here to take a look-see, are you? You do actually have coin and intend to buy.
I show my coin bag. Listen, Jacqueline, I haven't bought any gear for myself since I set out on this journey many, what feels like decades ago. I'm ready.
Deception check.
Subtle dig at the pacing.
No, I just meant like...
Man who bought Cutlass not too long ago, make a deception check.
Well, I didn't know there was going to be magical stuff. That's a 15.
Okay. She kind of looks at you. You haven't bought anything in a while. Well, I'm flattered that you came to my residence first and foremost. I'll tell you what. Maybe you would appreciate, and she's definitely looking the two of you up and down. Like she's trying to get a good read on the two of you. And she keeps kind of glancing over Silva's way. And she goes, how familiar are you with elven armor?
Incredibly. Didn't deal with too
Well,
many. I mean, the only elf that I'm really close with wasn't really a forge maker or around those of the West. So
well, indeed, you're not going to find a lot of traditional elven smiths around here, but we do have this. And she kind of opens like a large chest nearby and pulls out a few sets of studded armor and kind of lays them out for you. It's full studded armor, gaps in the joints for mobility. This beautiful, almost like a emerald shine that comes off of the gems that are interlaced within the armor. Right. So this is elven infused studded armor. It's using material picked from the riverwood. Something like this keeps you protected, but also keeps you agile. Sometimes the best way to not take any serious hits is to not take the hits in the first place. Above game, this studded armor, this leather, will add +2 to your AC.
Wow.
And +5 to your speed.
Wow.
40.
I mean, Silva, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, definitely imagine it. I can only imagine. As I kind of presumed coming into the shop, especially into this portion of it. Imagine this. This is of no small coin.
That would be right, dearie. We're looking at about 400 gold pieces for each of these sets. 400 gold or trade.
Or trade.
Go to. So somewhat just some mind kind of being able to, while she was kind of like grabbing her stuff and all that, and being able to have my eye around. Are there instruments in this part of the establishment?
There are no instruments that you can see.
Okay, probably. I mean, I know of the concept of instrument shops and them also being magical. There's more of the thought if they were here. Directly
Yeah.
there.
Sure. Like I say, there's no instruments that you can currently see. You can inquire about it, but there are none that you're seeing. Right, so as I say, 400 gold or trade.
Marshall.
I will say, you two would be the first to wear these.
So
they were only just recently made. Correct. So it would be a set for each of you, but each costs 400 gold.
Yeah.
It's like each armor. Yeah.
Or trade.
Right.
Okay, or trade.
I don't have a crazy amount of things that I would trade.
Yeah, I don't really have anything that's.
How much gold do you guys have?
I have a lot.
I have 802 gold total.
Yeah, I have
That's not the
like
problem. It's more about like what am I like? What else is out there? You can't just buy the first thing you see. You know,
yeah.
it's not without looking.
I was gonna say, I feel like I spent a lot of my gold, so that's why I'm like looking at it. I'm like, I don't even have 400 gold.
Oh
to
yeah,
spend.
I was specifically not spending any of my
spent
gold at the
nothing.
past couple things for something like this. So
I have bought nothing since the beginning. Not the only thing I ever bought, which I talked my way to getting, was this pearl from Victoria's Skeevel.
And it was by doing that is what inevitably got me to become her apprentice because of how hard I convinced her. I think I remember
don't
it
really-
was some like I think it was like a nat 20 persuasion roll or something. Like a whole thing. I remember that. But yeah, that's like the only thing I bought since the game started. All that platinum stuff or whatever that we got is all year. But yes,
I do.
vicariously though, that means I also have like no items. The only magical item that I really that could even conceivably have some type of value is our unknown kyber crystal. And obviously,
I have
I'm
my
not throwing
spice
that out.
pouch. I have my spice pouch, but
Get rid of that. You're contractually obligated.
I know.
to
I wish
sell
I had
people
like
on that spice pouch.
Right then, you two have anything to trade, or what are you thinking?
No, not likely to be trading. I mean, the purchase price is doable, but it is that
No
round,
items, no
obviously.
services. Okay.
I mean, I have just like my own weaponry, like
services, I guess, would be a different story too. That would be.
Well, yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be items. It could be, work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would depend on what is the what problem could be that we could solve / the work needing done.
Well, I was just thinking, she's kind of looking the two of you up and down. You're describing yourselves as something of adventurers, maybe a bit of a sellsword type. How good are you at peaceful reconciliation?
I mean, we've had to do our fair share of that so far, haven't we?
Yes, when it has been an option.
You ever had to settle any disputes over payment or anything of that sort? Collecting, as it were.
Yeah, I have.
Yes, as far as when we've been together, haven't had to do any form of debt collection. Did at least. We were able to successfully, however, deal with the management of one of our friends' mistaken use of creating debt.
Oh, God. Yes, we're quite good at negotiating financial matters like that.
Perfect. If you were willing to help me out in this case, I'd be more than happy to slash the prices on that armor for you.
I was curious though as well. I mean, inherently, I didn't want to also just look at the first thing that was that. The other
Sure,
thing
I
that was
understand.
looking into, but absolutely, I mean, we can go over some of this information.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more than happy to show you more of my wares. Just so you know, I'm not asking for anything too wild. Just
Well, given that you asked
I-
about how if we were in good company essentially on the way in, I had the feeling that this wouldn't be nefarious.
Well, it's not like that. It's more so that I don't want people traipsing about with my wares doing nefarious things and creating a bad reputation for my business,
Oh, well, of course.
Right. I guess, yes. That would also explain why having a question.
Which brings us
Related
back
to
to,
this?
yes. So I'll explain. There is someone who owes me a fair bit of money. She was, we'll say, an old flame of mine, and I had promised her some magical items that I had smithed for a reduced price, and she ended up taking the items wholesale without paying me a single coin
Well, that's just
and
not fair.
absconded, which I am not too keen about. And so, if you were to track her down and persuade her to give me the money that I rightfully owe, I would be more than happy to reduce the price on this armor, or maybe even do a similar reduction on some of my other items that I have here.
Well, we might
Pray
need
tell.
a little bit more information. Where
What is
where
the
might
name
she
of this
be?
person?
Her name is Sarah.
Oh, thank
She is currently residing, I believe, here in Passage. I haven't seen her in a fair bit. Like I say, old flame. She's also not the type to really hang around during the day.
Oh, I see.
Tough though. Curfew. Quite dangerous.
Right. So all I'm really asking is, if you're willing, if you could just, track her down and convince her to give me the 1,200 gold that she owes,
Hmm.
and
My God.
ideally not get bitten in the process. She is a vampire after all.
Oh God,
Rather important detail.
that's a bit of an important detail.
I thought it was implied with the whole daytime thing,
We just finished dealing with werewolves.
I'm sorry you live such exciting lives.
Well,
You know what? I'll take the vampire.
that's
Very
true.
lucky it wasn't a power. Because we wouldn't be here. Nevertheless.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm interested. I'm always up for an investigation. What say you, Silva?
Like I say, if you can get the 1,200 gold from her, then I'd be more than happy to give you both an extended discount. And it doesn't just have to apply to this armor, it could apply to other things as well.
Well, Silva, we could outfit our whole kit.
No. True. I mean, right hand. Well.
You say a rapier.
It is my preferred. It's my most preferred weapon.
I'm a fan of scimitars myself.
I like it's part of using the rapier as a bit of as some sentimental value.
How about this? And she kind of is thinking, I'm feeling a tad spiteful.
Yeah.
What if, before you set out to meet her, I give you her rapier that she left with me?
Oh.
Oh.
And we will leave it there for this evening.
Oh.
I'll give you two time to decide. And we will pick up from there next time as you decide whether or not you want to take this offer. And we will, of course, pick up with Set as well, returning back to the inn as we continue this adventure now. Until then, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. Sometimes things are hard to remember, so it's tough to do my whole remember shtick if there's not actually something to remember, but there could be something to remember and I'm just not remembering it.
Interesting.
But I don't know if it's that or if it's the other thing. Either way, fear the Red Sea. All right. See you guys next time.